Okay, hey everybody. It's been a long time since I've actually made a video. I moved into a new house and I'm kind of working in a temporary room with just minimal supplies until we get my art studio finished in the attic, which I'll show you as time goes by, the progress on that. Right now it's just an attic, a walkout attic, and it's about 600 square feet or so, and can't wait to do it. So today I'm going to experiment with fabric painting, and I haven't done it in probably 25 years, but I used to paint on sweatshirts and do all that. And I wanted to actually paint on denim, and this is going to be harder because it's a dark background. If I were starting with a white background or a really light one, it would probably be much easier. But I wanted to do some denim and then make it into a pillow. And I can tell you already, after making some samples with colors, that it's going to definitely be a layering process. I watched a few videos, and one of the hints that they said is don't do so many layers that your paint becomes sticky. And so we're trying to avoid that. And I wanted to experiment versus paint, any kind of paint, acrylic paint, and a fabric medium together, 1-to-1, or to go with fabric paints that are ready made to paint right onto fabric. And I bought 2 different sets. So it's a set of 1 ounce bottles from white, black, brown, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, and pink. And they look like this, and they're matte finish, so there's no sheen to it or anything like that. And so there's a rainbow of colors. I did buy a few extra. I bought the neons because I love bright colors, in a bright yellow, a neon pink, and a neon green. And I can tell you already that's not going to really work because neons in regular paints and neons in fabric paints are very, very transparent, and you've got to have a really good quality bold neon that really pops, and that's not the case for fabric paints. I'm also using, I got a box of 14 Arteza, and this is fabric colors. So it's made for fabrics. I left these 4 in here. These are glitters and metallic colors, which I'm not using. But I wanted to show you they are 2 ounce bottles, ready to go. You just paint right with them, you know, straight out. And you know, the white, yellow, it doesn't have an orange. It has a red, a pink, and a raspberry red. And a deeper green and a fluorescent green, a blue and a deep violet, which basically looks like a deeper blue. It's not really purple, and a charcoal gray. And I wanted to show you, I did a sample. I wanted to test them out on my fabric swatch. So let me make sure that you can see this. Here, this line is the Arteza fabric paints. This line is the Tulip paints. And when you paint them originally, when they go onto the fabric, they look pretty bright and pretty opaque, which means not transparent. But as they dry transparent. So this first line is the Arteza colors, and you can see how you can barely see some of them. White, yellow, that's the pink. That was the raspberry red, I think, and the true red. The here's the purple and the blue, the deeper green and the lighter green, which you can barely not tell any difference, and then the charcoal gray, which is black. And then I use the Tulip, which is these 1 ounce bottles. White, yellow, orange, the pink, red, which their red is pretty different from the other red. Purple, which shows up more purple. Blue, which is really close to the denim color. The green is a little bit more solid, and you can see it a little bit better. And then black and brown. They do have a brown. Here's the neons that I tried in the Tulip, and you can see how the neon is very transparent. The pink, for some reason, it's not a glitter paint, but it's very glittery and shiny. I don't know why, but it's not, it doesn't look like neon pink, and that's the neon green, which you can't even really see it. So the neons don't work in my opinion. And then these two swatches are just straight golden paint. I used even Deco Art yellow and just mixed it 1:1, which is the ratio for Liquitex fabric medium. And that white came out stronger than the other two whites. And then the yellow, you know, you can see it's about the same, you know, as the fabric paints. But you can mix any of your acrylic paints with the fabric medium 1:1 and use it that way. And then we would heat set it at the end. So I just wanted to show you my swatches to kind of show you how really there's very few. The orange, that red, the purple, that green, the brown and black are pretty true to color. And my white is pretty much a little bit more vibrant with using fabric medium and regular acrylic paint. This is probably going to take a little while layering up. So I'm just going to start out and we're going to do a butterfly to start with. So I'm just going to freehand, and you could get you a print out, you know, something you liked off the internet, get some white transfer paper, and I'm just, you know, trying to divide it out kind of equally. The transfer paper would be great to transfer because you could trace your design and not have to freehand it. So this, you know, I'm not going to do this perfectly because I am freehanding. And you can adjust it a little bit. You know, this is a fabric pencil. And I will be painting over it with paint so that you won't see it. And then we'll just come down. This is just a kind of a make-believe butterfly. You could also probably use chalk because chalk would probably be easy enough to get rid of once you're finished painting if some of it peeked through. And then we'll want, you know, the body to be in the middle here. And yeah, I kind of want some flowers around it or something. I don't want just a butterfly, but I'm going to start with the butterfly just to see if this is even a feasible thing to try to paint. So I've got a styrofoam plate here. I used golden, and I'm not going to use my best paints. I'm going to switch over and use Deco Art because I just want to use traditional craft paints that everybody pretty much can get their hands on. So I'm going to base coat this butterfly first. And then I've got my fabric medium and it said 1:1. So I'm just going to basically do it that way. And you're going to need a little bit of a firmer brush. I like my squared off brushes, but one that's pretty firm with the bristles because you're going to need to press it, I'm sure, a little bit into this fabric. This is just regular denim fabric. I bought it from Joann's or somewhere. Bought it online, had it shipped to me. I washed it first. Even though this, I'm going to make a pillow out of this if it turns out nicely. It won't be ever washed. But I wanted to wash the fabric to make sure that you had any sizing or anything that's in the fabric, you know, that's washed out. Dried it. I actually ironed it because it was a little bit wrinkly looking. So here we go. Now I'm just going to not talk and I'm going to speed up through this process because I can tell it's going to take a while. So you can just watch me put the base coat on. Before I go any further, I forgot to show you, you can see these push pins. I have this on a piece of foam board so that it didn't bleed through on my test piece. But I did put this on foam board to give me something solid to press against, and then I just put push pins in. But nothing bled through on the sample piece that I did, so I just wanted to show you that. It has a little bit of an odor. The fabric medium or whatever it is has some odor, so I just wanted to share that with you. So I'm going to keep on painting and fast forwarding through this. Also, I want you to pay attention as this dries. It's going to go more transparent. It looks white when you're applying it, but it's going to go kind of see-through as it soaks into the fabric. So I just wanted to make a note of that too for you to pay attention to. So I'm going to start again over, and it's drying, so I'm going to just start adding again because it is so transparent still. There's no way that the colors would show up, and I want colors to show, so I'm going to just start in the middle and work my way out. And you have to kind of scrub. That's why you need some firm bristles. Like this is an older brush where the bristles are kind of stiffer because I didn't do a good job in rinsing it and keeping it nice and flexible. So just gives you a little bit more control with your paint. And remember, if you drop or splatter paint somewhere else, it's not going to probably come off very well because this is fabric paint, or we've made it into fabric paint. So now I'm going to switch to, I'm looking at my swatches here, and the Tulip Yellow looks pretty good. It's not a bright yellow, it's more of a soft pale yellow. So I'm gonna just put some on my plate, and this does not have to have these fabric paints, you just use them straight out. So I'm just gonna start working with it. And you're keeping in mind that your blue from your fabric is going to show through this yellow, so it's not going to be solid. So since it's a little bit wet, I'm just kind of blending it while it is kind of wet, and that helps just give you kind of a smooth transition of color. Again, because it's wet, it's pretty opaque looking, but I have a feeling it's going to dry kind of see-through. And I'm going to keep on just working it outwards. And so we can, I'm not, like this is not a monarch, or it's not a specific butterfly. I'm just making kind of a imaginary one. So let's do, we can go greenish, yellow into green, or blue, or we could go yellow into orange or red. I think I'm going to go the green route. And the green on here, the Arteza ended up pretty deep. The Tulip is just a little bit lighter. But it's a pretty, it's called leaf green. So it's not like a lime green at all. And I'm not rinsing my brush or anything because I'm going to blend the yellow and green together anyway. So I'm just going to take it right here on the fabric. And because it's wet, I can blend it a little bit, which is exactly what I want to do. I want to leave some of that yellow peeking through. And this deeper green over the yellow will also make it feel a little bit of more of a lighter, brighter green maybe. I thought this was going to be super simple and easy, but it's not. It's going to definitely be a layering process, but I wanted to show you in real time what it's like to work with fabric paints. And what this particular example is on a deep color, therefore you must layer it up. I don't have a lot of green on I'm getting very little green on my brush because it's pretty strong. So I'm just getting a little bit of green. And I kind of want to go in and blend this a little bit more. So this time I am going to rinse my brush. Now, the Arteza yellow is brighter than the Tulip yellow. So I am going to put a little bit of Arteza yellow in on my plate and just see if that has any more punch to it now that I've got it on top of some white. Let's just try it out and see. Yeah, so it's definitely brighter, and that way I can kind of blend it into that green. Everything is still wet. I'm gonna rinse that a little bit, dry it off. I'm going to go into my pale yellow. Which is the Arteza one. No, this yellow is the Tulip. And both sets of these fabric paints were pretty reasonable priced, I think, for a whole set. Like I want to say under $20 for each set, which I think is very reasonable. So just to give you an idea, and I got them on Amazon. You could go probably straight to Arteza's website. So it's becoming better as far as the vibrancy. You can also probably blend with your finger a little bit if you want to. I haven't taken the green all the way to the edge because I think I'm going to do some blue there. So I'm going to rinse my brush. And if I look at my swatches, the blue is pretty close. Well, they're both pretty close to the denim color. The Tulip blue is deeper. The Arteza blue is not quite as deep. So let's use the Arteza. Called Space Blue. Flatten my brush out when I want to make sure I have good control on it. And I'm just going to come right up to the edge, but still leave a little bit of that white showing, and just softly brush into the green a little bit. You can switch to a smaller brush if you want to. I feel like you get a little bit more control with that, but it would take much longer. So I'm just going ahead and going straight in with the big brush. Brushing kind of up into the green a little bit. it out. I try to keep it kind of a straight line, and I'm just going to go along the edge here. Again, this is, I had paint on my finger. This is damp. It's a little bit sticky because we've been layering up, and we've already got 3 or 4 layers, so I kind of want to be cognizant of that. Okay, now I want to put some lines into it, and so I need more of a narrow brush. I'm going to try first with a long liner brush. Get it a little bit wet to make those bristles stick together. Get this blue and roll my brush in it, and then reload. And then try to do the same thing. I'm terrible at doing mirror images of things. So I have this little kind of flat brush that's, I don't know, half an inch wide or so. I'm going to get it just a little bit wet, get a little bit of the blue, and just kind of make it watercolory feeling, and just kind of smudge that a little bit around the lines. So it kind of blends in a little bit. Back to this one, add a little water. You know, if you don't know a pattern of wings, you can look at different butterflies for reference, but again, I'm just kind of making this up as I go. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be an exact mirror image. Okay, I got a little sunshine coming in here on the corner. Now I'm going to take the Tulip Purple, which is more solid looking on my swatches. I'm going to use this thinner liner brush and I'm going to add some white to it. It's kind of a pale purple. Deeper purple that doesn't have as much white mixed in, and just do some little touches of purple and right along this edge of the wing. Mix that and just do a little bit of the blue, a lighter blue.
I confess, I wore your love, butterflies took over me. I confess, I wore your love, butterflies took over me.
Now I'm going to go around that purple just with a little bit of light blue just to still make it a little bit lighter. It does not cover fully because it's going over texture, so you've got to either let a little bit of that texture just reveal itself, or you would have to keep repeating and going over it until it was more solid. I'm just kind of embracing, oops, too much white. I'm just kind of embracing the texture a little bit more so. feel pretty good about this. There's no way, unless you spent time with layers and layers and layers, to get it really that realistic looking. And I'm going to hit it with the dryer for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to take the purple again, which I'm going to use the Tulip Purple, which was a little bit more opaque on my samples. Then I'm going to take a pretty stiff, kind of smaller this is a flat, it's a Royal Lange-Nickel, but it's the bristles are pretty firm because I've used it many times. So I'm going to mix a little white with the purple, and I'm just going to put a little background in just to give it some interest. So just going to do some like petal looking flowers, which are just going to have to be layered up. So this is just kind of the starting process. It'll be almost, transparent by the time it dries. And I'm going to just randomly like space them out. I'm not going to put them evenly. Like part of it will be behind the butterfly, part won't be. I'm glad I am filming this for you, because I originally thought I was going to make many of these and make pillows out of them. And I will make a pillow out of this one, but it's very lengthy process for the time that you're putting into it, and say if you're a working artist and how much you would charge for a pillow that you hand painted. To me, it's kind of not worth the time used to do this, to be worth making it for a business. Unless you found some really super duper fabric paints or a combination of some kind of acrylics that worked really well with fabric medium. It's just kind of too labor intensive. Or if you just want to do it for yourself, then it's worth it, just if you want to create something for yourself. I have a tendency to want to paint more realistically, and to not be able to do it on fabric is a little bit frustrating to me. So, again, just randomly putting these purple little flowers, and we can layer them up. The Tulip Pink, which is kind of a warm pink. We're going to see what it looks like kind of mixed in with the purple here. It may not do that well, so we're just going to add a little to the center here. put something in the center. So let's go to just a little small round brush, and that's a little white with the yellow, maybe a touch of green, and then more yellow. So let's put a body right in here, and I'm just going to take some brown, the Tulip paint, because the Arteza didn't have a brown. I'm just going to leave the green on my brush, even put maybe a little bit of yellow into it, and let's just do like a long kind of golden brown, and it'll dry darker, I'm sure. So I'm gonna kind of bring it down to a little bit of a curved point. Let's dry this. That small brush again, and I'm going to take a little pink and yellow together, which will make kind of like an orangish color. And just kind of give this a little bit of a highlight. So kind of like his head, and then his body. Just down through the middle. Layer you put, it still dries a bit transparent, so it's not going to be super strong.
I confess, I wore your love
I'm going to do a little bit of
butterflies.
on either side. Almost, it looks like little eyes.
I confess.
Because they kind of have those
Oh, your love.
rounded areas that
Butterflies.
lets them see in all kinds of directions and things. Typically I would do black antennas, but it's not going to show up on here, so let's go with really pale blue. It'll show up. You can see like their legs. I'm gonna just do like a little long leg that kind of comes down. So I need to build that up. The antenna and the lids. And then I want to add just something that swirls around it, and it's just going to be a layering up process, I think. But I'm going to just use that same color. It's kind of a greenish blue. A little bit more blue to it. And add some white to that. And the white is still the white I mixed up with the fabric medium. I add a little water just so it's more fluid. And I'm just gonna do some swirls. And they're basically disappearing as I paint it. You can only see a hint of it. Back into that light green and just kind of highlight some leaves a little bit.
I wore your love, butterflies took over me.
Added some of this whitish turquoise color that I was using. original color with it now. That's my brush, and I want to go back into the brown, add a little blue to it, make it pretty dark. Just kind of refine these little eyes. I don't want them too obvious. And just kind of shadowing the edges of the bottom here. And I want to add maybe some really light or light yellow highlights. Kind of the more you do, the more dimensional it looks, or the more it pops on your canvas or on your fabric, whatever you're painting on. You could totally do this on a canvas, and it would be much easier, and it would look probably more realistic when it's all said and done. So I'm just adding bits of highlights. I'm going to put a little something here too, just to give these a little bit of a highlight in the darker green area. So I'm going to go back into my yellow and lime green color I had. Or if you need to make some more, just add a little bit of green to your yellow and it will make it very lime. I got a little bit too much there. Add some yellow. So it's a pale green. And let's just add some touches in this darker area to give it a little bit more oomph. of a purple with the pink and the blue, and then put my white into it.
I confess, I wore your love.
Kind of a pale pinkish purple.
Butterflies
Just
took
add a few
over
little
me.
highlights on these
I
flowers.
confess, I wore your love. Butterflies took over me.
So this is a 0 script brush. A little bit more white, and I'm going to try to sign my name, which will probably be pretty difficult. Add some water to it. I'm just going to do my initials. Is it too hard to write out here? I'm just going to use this white that I've got on my plate to go back and highlight the petals again. All right. Take the pins out. Just regular push pins. You could tape it down to a board, whatever. Okay, there's no bleeding on the back side at all. So that's good. And again, that was just a piece of foam board. And I'm going to let this lay flat and dry for 24 hours. And then we're going to heat set it with an iron. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And then I will sew it and make it into a pillow. Not so sure that I'll do many more fabric painting projects because I'm not sure how long that took total. I'll tell you. Let me see if I can get this. So that took about 2 hours to paint. And I did fast forward through some of the process just because I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me do every brush stroke. But for 2 hours. So I'm just going to come in a little bit closer just so you can see some of the detail. But none of the lines are really like solid. You know, it's very brush strokey. You see the weave of the fabric in my lines. So it's not perfectly painted. It's just more of a playful style of painting. But it's something different. I wanted to show you how to use the fabric paints if you'd like to try it. If you did it on a white fabric, you'd probably have a little bit better results. You'd want probably as smooth of a weave as possible. This is obviously just real like jean fabric. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and comment. You know, just comment and say, I like it. I'm not so crazy about it. I'd like to try it. Or if you have any pointers, comment below the video, and please subscribe to my channel. Every subscriber helps to build the channel, my old one and my new one. I have an old one that's 6 or 7 years old, and my new one like this, where I'm going to fully explain exactly everything I'm doing so you can learn as we go. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, so I am going to heat set my fabric, and I have this fabulous little mini iron, the Quilted Bear. And as you can see, the dial goes up to max, but I've got it around medium. You can also add water for steam, but I'm not doing steam on this. So I've got my dried painted fabric. I'm going to lay some parchment paper down, and it says to set for 5 minutes on one of the brands, and on the other it doesn't say to heat set it at all, but I'm going to heat set it all anyway. So I'm just going to do this. I'll fast forward through all this, and we'll be back when I'm done heat setting it. Okay, and I use parchment paper so you can see through it where your design is. It also protects your iron from getting paint onto a hot surface. You want to place something between your painted project and your iron. So now it's heat set. Okay, so I chalked off an 18-inch seam. I have the right sides together. The butterfly is underneath, face up. This is the bottom, and I'm leaving a gap right between here to be able to stuff my fabric with the pillow form when I've got it sewn. So I'll show you that part. Okay, I've turned it right side out. I'm ironing it. I don't know what I said. I might have said sewing. Okay, so here is the case, and then I'll get my pillow form and stuff it in there. All right, got the pillow form inside, sewed up the edges, and got a throw pillow. I'll post a picture at the end. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learned something. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Love you all. Bye-bye.